Welcome to the Progressive Auto Sales Arena here in Sarnia, Ontario, for tonight's game between the women's team, the national teams of Canada and the United States. I'm Paul Nathan along with Kyle McKinnon. We'll bring you all the action in tonight's game. First off, earlier this afternoon I had a chance to talk to both coaches. We have Laura Schuler with us. She's the head coach of the Canadian women's national team. And Laura, let's talk about the first game of this exhibition series, which was Saturday night in Plymouth. You came out on top with a win. Rookies in the lineup, how'd they perform for you?
Yeah, we were really excited about the depth that we right now have in this country. We have two 99s and two 97s on the lineup. So with Micah Hart, Sarah Potomac, Amy Potomac, and Sophie Shirley, and they did a great job for us last night. It was really great to be able to get them into the lineup and have them face, especially best-on-best competition against the U.S.
You were down going into the third period, but boy, the girls came back.
We basically got too many penalties in the first that we weren't quite happy with, but we need to find a way to play more disciplined, but really happy that our girls were able to kill off some of those penalties and be able to come back and put the puck in the net.
That was actually my next question, because you faced 11 penalties in that game. A chance for you to work on the special teams.
Yeah, and the U.S. are really good at. I would say that's probably their strength is their power play. They're really good at tic-tac-toe passing, and we just can't put ourselves in that kind of a position. So our focus tonight is going to be on playing more of a disciplined game. We got to keep our feet moving.
Laura Schuler, head coach, Canadian women's national team. We'll be back with Laura again coming up in our second intermission. With Rob Stauber, head coach of the U.S. women's national hockey team. And Rob, first of all, welcome to Sarnia.
Thank you. It's my first time here and been very hospitable since we arrived last night, so nice to be in the rink.
Rob, of course, former professional hockey player, drafted back in 1986, I believe, by the LA Kings.
That's a little while ago, yeah.
Now, with this program, goalie coach, assistant coach, and head coach, and we're going to talk again in the second intermission, and we'll get into that. But let's go back to the first game of this exhibition series in Plymouth on Saturday night. What did you see from your team?
Well, we saw a lot of the things that we've been trying to implement into our game. We saw some of those things show up, which is great. In some ways, just some small steps forward for us. And, at the end of the day, both teams want to win that game. So certainly we don't come out satisfied at all. Always
a big rivalry between these two teams. What can we expect for tonight?
Well, the same. I'm sure there will be a good crowd here tonight and a lot of excitement. And ultimately, when you get into those environments, you just got to take your deep breath and play your game.
All right, that's Rob Stauber, head coach of the United States women's national team. We'll be talking more with Rob coming up in our second intermission. Zone, United States now. Down into the zone, shot over the net into the far corner. And the puck comes out. Canada now across the blue line. It's a 2-on-1. It took the shot and scores!
Houston with the goal. And she was standing there as that puck bounces over as Johnson picks it up and goes 5-hole.
Jennifer Wakefield there, Kyle. She looked past and then took the shot. Emily Flazer now.
Oh,
there's a shot.
Snipe show.
Top corner glove side. When you look at that play from when it began, Kyle, successful passing all the way up the ice.
Lamoureux with a snipe show top cheddar to make it a 1-1 game. Just past the 15-minute mark of the first period. Just got that puck, quick release, finds the back of the net. 1-1.
All right, Rob, the Progressive Auto Sales Arena in Sarnia, Ontario. Paul Nathan and Kyle McKinnon here with this game tonight. 1-1 after one period. Let's go to our intermission. Standing between two young ladies, Megan Augusta, the veteran, and Sophie Shirley, the rookie, here with the national team, the women's national team of Canada. Both these ladies can skate faster than me, they can shoot the puck faster than me, and they can probably take me into the boards and hurt me. I hope you don't do that. Let's start with you. As a veteran on the team, what's changed in women's hockey over the years that you've been involved in, and have you had to adjust your game at all?
You know what, I'd have to say probably the skill and the speed. It's definitely come a long way, and taking the year off to go to police academy, just that 1 year when I came back at September camp, I couldn't believe the talent and the skill level and the speed that Canada had.
It's interesting you mention that, because I just finished watching some of your practice, and I've seen a lot of your games on television, as most people have across the country, but when you're down at ice level or in a small rink like this, you really notice the speed of the game, the accuracy of the passing, and the velocity of the shots.
Yeah, it's always getting better. Every single year, every country, they're doing everything they can to, help their players be the best of the best. And for us, Canada, we have the best of the best here, and it's pretty amazing to see the young, talented players come up and have that kind of skill. And, it really makes and helps Team Canada be an overall better team.
And speaking of young talent, Sophie Shirley, this is the first weekend that Sophie has been with the women's national team. You've been in the national program for a couple of years. As a rookie, how's this weekend been so far?
Really good. Yeah, I'm enjoying it lots. Just being around these players, these high-end players, you learn a lot from them just by watching them on the ice, and something that I can take away from. It's an amazing experience here so far, and I can't wait to get started.
Feelings when you first walk into that dressing room when you arrived in town?
It's amazing. Obviously really honored to be able to wear the Maple Leaf again, and especially with this group of girls, I think we're going to have a fun week for sure.
Megan, when the rookies come into town and show up on the roster, I know you have a pool of players that you pick from, and this is sort of, come and show me what you got kind of thing. How do you as a veteran approach the rookies, and how do you help them out?
You know what, I'm one to always, take them under my wing. Actually, just when Shirley just talked there, she kind of gave me the chills, because it reminds me of when I first started and I had that opportunity to play with the national team. It's always been a dream of mine since I was 6 years old, and to listen to her speak and to see the smile on her face, it brings back a lot of memories. And I'm the type of player, I bring a lot of experience and leadership, and we need those players to be at their best for us to be at our best as a team. So I'm going to take them under my wing, and we're going to have a great tournament.
One question I have to ask is, police training helped your game?
You know what, 100%. We have to, go to the gym every single day and make sure we're ready for whatever fight that we need to, be prepared for. So, you know what, I'm very fortunate. It's been a sacrifice. It's been a balance. It's been challenging. But, when I made that decision, I wouldn't change it for anything. I'm super fortunate to be able to represent the Vancouver Police Department and still have the opportunity to play for the country of Canada. So
do they call you Shirley or Sophie?
Kind of either or. I'm kind of used to both. You usually get either or all the time, so anything's good.
Is there a nickname thrown in there somewhere?
Sophie, Shirley, and either or, anything's good.
Leaving home and joining a program like this, that's a tough move too.
Yeah, for sure. During the year, I'm also away from my home as well too, so I feel like it's always a sacrifice to come and develop and get better. I think that's just a step that I'm willing to take to get better and to be able to stay here.
You haven't even been involved in the rivalry yet, but I wanted to ask you the rivalry with the United States. You
know what, it's always a battle. They have a great team, but so do we. And I know our coaching staff has done everything they can to prepare us for, this week. And it starts with game number 1 in Plymouth. And, we're ready to do whatever it takes. We have a great team here, a lot of skilled players, a lot of veteran players that, have a lot of experience. And, I know that Team Canada brought the best of the best, and we're ready to take on whatever it is Team USA throws at us. Is there another rivalry in the wings somewhere? You know what? It's always a big rivalry. It's pretty amazing to be able to represent Canada and play in Canada. And there's no doubt in my mind that Sarnia is going to fill the rink, and they're going to be cheering loud for us. And every opportunity we have to play for our country and represent Canada, it's not a right, it's a privilege. And for us to skate onto that ice and listen to the fans roar, it's going to be a great feeling, and it never gets old. Congratulations on your successful career and many more years playing hockey. Thank you. And congratulations to you making the squad, and have a successful weekend, and all the best to you in the future. Yeah, thank you very much. Shirley Sophie, or Sophie Shirley, or what was the other nickname? Soph. Soph. All right, we'll go with Soph. And Megan Augusta. That's Team Canada, the women's team, playing here in Sarnia. Speaking with Brad Kirkwood, who is the goaltender consultant with the women's national team. And Brad, welcome to Sarnia.
Thank you very much.
I wanted to do an interview with you today because I watch a lot of hockey and I've coached a lot of hockey, but you never really see goaltending consultants or coaches or even goaltenders really get much TV time. Right. So I thought, you know what, he's here, and I was watching your practice, so I'll just give him a chat. I know you're involved with University of Calgary, and I do believe you have a hockey or a goaltender school too.
That's correct. Yeah, in Calgary, Alberta.
What have you noticed over the years as far as the pool for women in the goaltending position? Has it increased? Has the quality improved? Are you seeing much of a difference?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just now there is that ability for them to go out and get specialized training. So over the years, especially in the female game, we've seen a great pool of goaltenders coming up.
As a coach, are there many differences between trying to coach a female goaltender and a male goaltender?
There's subtle differences. I mean, technique-wise, skating-wise, they all have to be strong skaters. But yeah, you have a little bit more time in the women's game at some levels, so those are some of the areas you need to be aware of when dealing with.
Do you think the coaching at lower levels is getting the women so that they mentally know the game better?
Yeah, I think it's coming that way. I know in Calgary, and I know a lot of places in Alberta and out here in Ontario as well, they have goalie development programs right from the grassroots levels all the way up to where we're at today.
And I noticed watching your practice today too, you spent a lot of time doing physical drills with the goaltenders, but also a fair amount of time chatting with them. So there must be confidence building with your goaltender, not only that you have confidence, but she has confidence in herself. But also in reverse, she needs to have confidence from you. So there's a lot of chatter.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, part of goaltending, being a consultant and a coach, is the relationship you build with the goaltenders. And as you mentioned, there has to be that trust back and forth. So we work a lot of details, especially at this level, more than changing their technique or anything like that. It's just the small details that are going to give them success here.
What are you finding over the last few years about the international level as far as goaltenders are concerned?
We've seen a great increase in their skill level as well, and they're doing the same things that we are. They're bringing in qualified goaltending professionals, and their goalies are all getting the instruction. So we're seeing them in a big improvement in their game as well. Women
turning pro. I've always thought that as far as a skater is concerned, I can't see it happening, but I do see it happening in the goaltending position, and it has to a certain level of pro. Where do you see that going?
I see it being something that could happen in the future again. We've seen it with one of our goaltenders in particular, but the skill level of these goaltenders coming up that we're dealing with, they skate like men, they push like men, and they're very capable of playing the position at that level.
Brad Kirkwood, goaltending consultant with the women's national team in Canada. Brad, thanks very much. Hope you enjoy your stay in Sarnia, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Fires that puck out of the zone from Jocelyn Lamoureux. Oh, nice move. In the zone, Lamoureux made some nice plays there, but fired the puck back to the defenseman, but came out of the zone. Stack now all the way across the ice, as the Americans are just freewheeling that puck around the ice at this particular moment of the game. Still keeping that puck in. Monique Lamoureux with a nice play. In front, scores!
Tip off Mickelson goes out into the back of the net, and the United States take the lead on their 9th shot of the period as that one goes 5-hole. On Zabados.
That was a shot she didn't expect, as the puck came from the far side, and she wasn't really set for it, kind of standing sideways, and sounded from here like it hit her stick and went in the 5-hole, as you mentioned. Behind the scenes with Vicky Prail from Sarnia Lambton Tourism. And Vicky, Sarnia has been the location for many international hockey events in the past, and here we are again, Canada, the United States.
And we're so excited. This is an amazing event for our community, and we can't thank Hockey Canada enough for bringing another wonderful event to Sarnia.
The facilities are great here. The city is great. It's nice to see the team get involved in the community when they do show up. This must be a big job for you guys.
It is, but it's so worthwhile when you see the ticket sales. We're now sold out, so we're so excited. The spirit's certainly in the air, and we've always said Sarnia is certainly a hockey town.
How did minor hockey come into the fold to help you out with this?
So we've had a couple volunteers help us out. There's some volunteers that will be working tonight's game. Brian Chappell from the Sarnia Girls Hockey Association has been a huge help to us. Again, the community has always rallied around these events, and it's just an amazing opportunity for our community.
This game on this Monday night, and over the weekend you had an international tournament as well.
Yes, we had the Nations Cup, and that was also a great success. We're so excited about having them back as well. We also hosted the Bauer International Hockey Tournament, which was also a success with 74 teams. And obviously we host the annual Silver Stick Finals here every year. So like I said, we're certainly a hockey community.
And tourism office always open for requests.
Absolutely. Yes, we're always open for business, and we love welcoming all our athletes to our community, and we hope they all come back again.
Vicky Prail from Sarnia Lambton Tourism. Here's more about Sarnia Lambton.
So you're driving along Highway 402 or popping across the bridge from the US for a Canadian adventure. You see exits to Sarnia Lambton. You ask yourself, why would I pull off? My question to you is, why would you not? Sarnia Lambton is located on the beautiful shores of the St. Clair River and Lake Huron. It's home to 128,000 residents that clearly know something you don't. Let's do some numbers. We've got over 150 public parks, over 600 kilometres of trails, 115 kilometres of waterfront, 19 premium golf courses. Oh, and the Pinery Provincial Park offers 6,000 acres of raw natural beauty, 9 kilometres of glorious Lake Huron beach, and 38 kilometres of cross-country ski trails. Leave the city behind and visit one of our many great farm experiences. Crunch the apple, sip the wine, stroke the alpaca. Keep it rural. I'm in the Bahamas. No, I'm not. I'm in Sarnia Lambton. The Lake Huron shoreline boasts miles of sandy beaches. It's home to 2 internationally renowned blue flag beaches. This is actually here. Each year we welcome over 25,000 visitors to our annual Art Walk event, a weekend-long arts festival, and the Judith and Norman Alex Art Gallery downtown has hosted collections by Freud, Matisse, Dali. Lake Huron is behind me, the St. Clair River is ahead of me, the USA is right over there, I'm eating fresh cut fries. What? So the next time you're driving along Highway 402 or crossing at the bridge, I suggest you pull into Sarnia Lambton, bring the family, pack a tent, book a cottage, stay a while, or keep driving and forget every wonderful thing I just showed you.
Rob Stauber again with us, head coach of the United States Women's National Hockey Team. And Rob, let's talk about your career. Drafted in 1986 by the LA Kings, a dream of a lifetime, I would imagine.
Yeah, it was fantastic, and obviously had a chance to stay with that organization for 5 years once I eventually turned professional, which was in '89. And was, as I said, very fortunate to be with them in the Stanley Cup run when we lost to Montreal in Game 5. But it was a heck of a time to be a part of that organization with all the excitement around the, Gretzky being traded there, etc. So it was a great time.
You had a successful professional career, and then coaching. Why the jump?
Well, I've been coaching. I started coaching when I was in college. I started working with young goaltenders and enjoyed it. Hockey's, at the end of the day, it's a love, and so I feel like I never go to work. It's just a great thing. So the progression actually for me was from goalie coaching to getting involved as assistant coaches at University of Minnesota, then University of Minnesota Duluth. Paying attention to the goalies there, and then the evolution basically in 2010, jumping on here with the U.S. Women's National Team, starting off as a goalie coach, and then just doing what I love, and ultimately, when you spend a lot of time doing it, you have some insight, and I think that's just the evolution.
Since 2010, with the women's team, what changes have you seen in your program?
Well, it's really a top-down program. It's really dialed in from how we train, how we practice, how we implement others to help us be successful, from psychologists to team nutritionists to massage therapists. It's a real pro program. So, and ultimately the players have been advancing their skill. I remember in 2010 that we had a few players that could shoot the puck. Now all of them can shoot the puck. They've progressed their game and they've become more detailed, and the game's getting better.
The importance of speed in your game, because there's plenty of it out there.
Yeah, speed. Nobody wants to defend speed. I don't care who it is. If you look at the National Hockey League or you look at our game tonight, it's going to be a speed-driven game, and ultimately, obviously those that can carry it from start to finish have a little better advantage, and certainly that's what we'd like to have tonight, is the ability to, go the entire distance.
In the men's game, we've seen a change over the past number of years in smaller players, and the smaller players usually come with speed. And I notice on your roster and all the women's teams that I've watched on television over the years, there's some small players and speed. Different training for a smaller player?
Well, I think naturally they're kind of quicker. It's it almost seems like it's more genetics. But, the other thing that comes with smaller players, you got the obvious thing a lot of times is speed, but you get some craftiness too, which is, nice to have in your lineup. Sometimes the smaller players can be a little more shifty and make little plays, and obviously without checking, that's a good thing. You can't really ride them out as easily, and there's bumping, but no open ice checking, so that can make room for a smaller player to be really effective.
I coached minor hockey for almost 30 years, actually, and you go to the rink and it's the beginning of the season, and okay, who wants to be goalie? And a lot of times nobody would, and then sometimes everybody wanted to be the goalie. What's the situation now on the women's side of things? A lot of goaltenders. You have your under-18 program and your national program. Are they hard to find?
Well, we have plenty of goalies, but I think what you're referring to is absolutely correct. It really stems back to the younger ages, and honestly, it's the parents that really don't want their kids to be a goalie, because they don't want the pressure. They inevitably, whether they've had one or not, they know the pressure that you can watch any game and go, God, who wants to be a goalie? And so I think a lot of times it really comes down to parents kind of trying to pull their kids away from that position because of the pressure of it. Yeah, but ultimately there's some kids that work through that with their families, and so. It is a progression, and we seem to be, doing well and have plenty to choose from.
Rob Stauber, head coach, United States Women's National Team, and Rob, best of luck with your career as a coach and with the team.
Thank you.
With Amanda Kessel of the United States Women's National Team, welcome to Sarnia.
Thank you.
I want to do a quick talk with you, concussion protocol, because when we look back at your career, you of course had a concussion and you were out from 2014 for almost 2 years, I think. That must have been a real tough time for you.
Yeah, all of a sudden, playing hockey, it's what I love to do, and all of a sudden that's taken away from you, and you kind of have to find a way to navigate through life. So it was one of the biggest challenges of my life, and I think it made me a lot stronger, though.
What do you see in this team you're with now?
Just a ton of talent, great group of girls. I think the drive, passion, dedication that everyone has, and then we have a lot of skill. Everybody can play, and every single person has high-end skill.
And of course the rivalry with Team Canada.
Yeah, that's the most fun. I was saying I wish this was like a 5-game series. 2 games seem too short, but it's going to be a fun one.
Now, a lot of people think that you girls just play for the national team, but you're all with club teams, university teams, whatever the case may be, under 18 all the way up in the program. So your professional career is doing well.
Yeah, I just joined a new professional league, NWHL, this year. So it's first year in the league, and it's a transition, but I'm happy to help the game grow.
Similar kind of game with that in the national team?
No, I'd say it's definitely a step down. It's hard to get all top players to fill out 4 teams, but I think I've already heard from last year to this year it's improving, and I think you're going to get more the top college players to join it.
I wish you success in your career. Great talking to you, and best of luck.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Amanda Kessel, United States Women's National Team. The United States has done well during this game with taking care of the front of the net, blocking a lot of shots. Very noticeable when they only had 3 players on the ice during a penalty, and they were really tight in front of Hensley, and nothing got through. Canada now over to Wakefield. There's a shot. They score! A one-timer from Wakefield with 24 seconds left. Off the face-off, back to the defense, came to Wakefield in the net.
You think that's how they drew it up?
Yeah.
What a goal! Wakefield set up at the hash marks. This crowd is deafening. Set up at the hash marks as the puck went back to Poulin. Poulin fires it over to Wakefield with the one-timer top of the circle. And she beat Hensley from well out with no traffic. We mentioned in the first period how heavy Wakefield's shot was. 24 seconds left.
And Hensley not much of a chance on that one. Look at the far side now. This is Kendall Coyne. It's shot back in again by Canada. As we'll probably just play this third period out. As they tied it up late.
Team Canada, lots of open ice. It'll be end to end, that's for sure, and there will be an exciting ending no matter which way it goes.
2 things to look for with all this open ice. It's going to be speed and getting the right pass to the right player at the right time. You throw a bad pass in this situation, you're in trouble. Set to go. See who's going to win this one.
5 minutes sudden death.
Here's Monique Lamoureux. She gets the puck back through center ice as Team USA sets up. Takes it back behind the net. She'll throw it out in front if she could find a open player. Back into the corner. That was Kessel. Back to Lamoureux. Jocelyn Lamoureux with the puck. Back to Monique Lamoureux. Tried to throw it through, but it was picked off by Canada. Here we go now. In the slot, there scores! And it's Poulin who gets the goal. A great move in the slot, in the 5-hole.
How fitting was it, Captain Canada, Poulin, who got laid out with about 5 minutes to go in the third, sets up the game-tying goal, and scores the overtime winner just 42 seconds into the extra frame. 3-2 Canada, what a game.